Regular meeting of the Nashville Town Council to order. Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Father, again, we come to you as a town council asking you to lead us and guide us and help us to make the right decisions for each citizen in our town. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
The first item on our agenda is the approval of our March 4th minutes for that meeting. Did anybody have any corrections to those minutes? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
Mayor, being no objections, I move to accept them as presented.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The second item on our agenda is our council meeting with Downtown Strong minutes. Do you see any corrections to those minutes? If not, do I hear a motion that we approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item on our agenda are the 3 minutes per speaker for our public comments, and we have 3 people to speak. The first person, and remember, you come up, you state your name and your address, and then you have 3 minutes. Chris Sandy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Chris Sandy. I own 720 South Body Street here in Nashville. I just wanted to touch base on, make sure everybody knew I've been in correspondence on several times with Randy Lanson, and since the junction is going into place and stuff, I've started experiencing flooding coming into my building. And this last storm we had was really extensive. I got 40% of my building that has been flooded. 10 inches of water in my shop, 4 inches in the lower section, and 2 inches in another section that's never had water in it before. I know it was a lot of rain that we had, but it's not handling it. And the retention ponds overflowing, and all that water dumping from the parking lot's coming to me. And so my insurance company tells me with my losses I've got that I need to get flood insurance now. And this flood is being caused by what's happened next door to me, and really needs some, it's affected my property value, and I'm getting together a list of the items that I have lost, and I'll be sharing that with the town center.
Thank you for sharing with us.
All right, thank you.
The next person is Greg Boyd.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Greg Boyd. I live at 616 Sanibel Drive. I'd like to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I'm here to address the issue that I believe affects all of us in the peaceful tranquility of our town. The need for the current noise ordinance in Nashville to regulate loud music and excessive noise levels be expanded for all times of the day, with the exception of permitted events. In our little town of Nashville, the peaceful atmosphere is often marred by excessive daytime noise and loud music. While it's wonderful to celebrate and gather as a community, the high volume can become disruptive during daylight hours for those who work from home or work in an office. It can make it difficult for them to focus, and it prevents many of us from being able to just enjoy the outdoor spaces and peace. I propose that the current noise ordinance be expanded to meet all times of the day, and I'd like to enhance the quality of life for all residents, and it's essential to establish comprehensive noise regulations that address excessive sound levels at all times of the day. This proposal seeks to set clear guidelines as acceptable noise levels for outdoor activities and events, ensure that loud music and other disruptive sounds are kept to a minimum regardless of the hour of the day. I'd like to propose that there be designated areas to create designated zones where live music and events can take place without disturbing nearby residents, allowing for both enjoyment and peace. And I think the benefits of a noise ordinance can extend beyond addressing immediate concerns about loud music. It fosters a more harmonious community, encouraging responsible celebrations while respecting the rights of all residents to enjoy their homes in peace. And by implementing clear guidelines, we can support local businesses and events, ensuring that they thrive without infringing on the well-being of others. I understand that Nashville, their current noise ordinance is only from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. However, the city of Rocky Mount, they have one that's 24 hours a day, and I don't understand why Nashville wouldn't have the same ordinance on their books. So that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate it.
Mayor, if I may.
Uh-huh.
Randy, does not our noise ordinance cover 24/7? Like, I understand that we have those designated quiet hours, but I thought we specifically made for our noise ordinance that you can never be so loud as to interrupt the quiet enjoyment of someone's use of their property.
That is what it says.
So is it not being enforced at this point?
I'm
Sir?
not sure if we've received a complaint.
Have you,
Nashville PD says that the ordinance only covers from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
I think we need to have a
Yeah.
clarification conversation.
And another question that, one of the items that disturbs people, and I don't know if we can correct that or not, is the motorcycles that come through town with their radios blasting, and they stop at a stoplight and you can't even hear yourself think. And someone has talked to me about that, so I think we need to revisit that, yes. Thank you so much. The next person to speak is Coy Worrell.
Good morning, Mayor and Council.
Morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to quickly update you on the Glover Park Part F project, and we did get this back after the agendas went out, so
Okay.
apologize about that. Stocks Engineering has completed the plan set for Glover Park and is finalizing the bid documents for that project, and plans to have those back where we will have that on the May 6th council meeting agenda for y'all to review those and make a decision on who to select to move forward. I did pass out a rendering of what the splash pad would look like when completed, and Mr. Langston has it up here on the screen as well. I did just want to touch base on this real quick. This is the splash pad we want. We do have a feeling that we are going to be under budget on what we can get with the elements. However, all the plumbing will be underground for all of these elements, and once we get those bids back, we can just look and see and put as many elements as we can now, and then just plan on adding to it in the future. So I do have a full plan set. If anybody wants to review those at the end of the council meeting, we can certainly do that as well.
Thank you, that's
Mayor.
exciting.
On the rendering that you showed us, there's a big brick building here. We're not constructing a building beside of it. This is just,
Yes, sir, we are. It won't look like that. We do have a picnic shelter that'll be next to it that will have restrooms and, I'll call it a pump room, but where all the mechanics will be for the splash pad as well.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the service line warranty and leak projection program. Randy?
So, Mayor and Council, back on October 1st, we had a proposal from the home service company based out of Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, on two programs that they provide. One was a leak protection program, and the other is a service line warranty program. At that time, the council asked that we poll our residents and customers to see who might be interested. We did have some success in there, or some feedback from that. We actually had 15 customers who responded, 11 expressed interest, and 4 had no interest at all. So due to the limited interest, what we're suggesting that council consider it is to offer the water and sewer service line warranty program. That's completely optional. If anybody wants that, we would put it on the water bill, that it's available. They can call the 800 number for the company directly themselves, inquire about it, and sign up for it if they're interested. It doesn't cost the town anything. They do offer a discount. Well, let me rephrase that. They do offer the town some of the revenue from that service if we wanted. If not, they just reduce the amount of the monthly premiums on the warranties for that program.
Any questions for Randy? If not, do I hear a motion to approve the offering home service line warranty program to Nashville water sewer customers?
So move.
And I'll second that. I just do want to reiterate what Randy had said, because we did receive an email to council members with a concerned citizen thinking that we were going to be automatically charging citizens. It's something that citizens opt into. If you
Right.
want it, you can take it. If you don't want it, don't opt in. It is not us placing the citizens in it, so I
Right.
will second that motion.
Optional.
Are we taking the royalty or are we giving the credit?
Did we ever determine how much our current policy costs us when we waive for leaks and things like that? Like, would it be something that would even begin to cover that cost, or?
Well, this is just on the
No,
service line.
Right, but I mean, like, if we received the revenue, would it offset that at all? Or is it just something that
Oh,
we should?
I don't, it's hard to say, you know,
Right.
it's a discount of 50 cents per policy per month. You'd have to have a significant amount
Right.
of people sign up for that to result in any significant revenue for the town whatsoever.
Your question, are we gonna accept the revenue from it? I think we should not, because I don't want the public to think that we are going into this as a way that the town
Make
wants to
money.
get more money. So just let the residents get
I
keep the
agree.
discount.
Okay, so we've had a motion and a second. All those in favor of this, please let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is the Nashville Junction rezoning. Sean?
Good morning, Mayor and Council. As we stated at our last meeting, we held the public hearing for the Nashville Junction rezoning. We are here today for deliberation and a vote amongst the council. The agenda package says the slate of uses that Mr. Hurd is asking for. I'll read those for the benefit of the minutes, and then I'll turn it back over to you, Mayor, for deliberation and voting purposes. Number 1, a farmer's market produce sale. Number 2, retail sales. Number 3, a processing facility. Number 4, a banquet hall. Number 5,
Sean, don't we have this updated?
you do, yes, ma'am.
Should we be reading the updated?
Read
list?
that one right there. I left that one. We thought we had slipped that one in the agenda packet. Let me,
Here, do you want my copy?
Hold on just a second, Sean.
excuse me, Cal, this is the one that we did update from the meetings. I'm sorry about that. I thought I had brought mine with me. I slipped it out of my agenda packet this morning. Number 1 was a farmer's market produce sale, banquet hall, club or lodge, salon that we needed for a commercial cigar bar, a community center, a meeting facility, retreat center, conference center, theater, indoor, outdoor, school, performing arts, sports, recreation, university, college, vocational trade, technical skill training, manufacturing, assembling, processing, and distribution of food, distilleries, microbrewery, starch, vegetable fats and oils, winery, manufacturing, assembly, processing, distribution of non-food, firearms manufacturing and assembly, leather and allied product manufacturing, office and financial service without outdoor storage, limited 10 of 12 units, recreational facilities, indoor and outdoor, health and personal care, retail land use, service land use, body arts, eating establishments, massage business. Sorry about that, Council. I thought I had grabbed it.
Any, we've had 2 public hearings on this, and we've tabled it one time, so do I have any questions at this time for Sean? If not, do I hear a motion that we approve the ordinance 2025-13 conditionally rezoning the Nashville Junction at 723 Barnes Street for specific commercial uses?
I make the motion that we approve the updated ordinance that includes the updated list that was just read into the minutes.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed?
Aye.
Okay,
I'm out.
you opposed?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not
You're in
opposing it.
favor.
I'm not in favor too. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay,
We're all,
so,
Let me confuse it.
we're all in favor.
okay, so motion carries, so the Junction can move forward.
Mayor, one thing. Sean,
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair.
our conversation yesterday,
Yes, sir.
was it relayed?
It will be relayed today. I was unable to get with Mr. Hurt yesterday, but we're going to talk after this meeting.
All right.
Yes, sir, and
All right.
forward it up. Yes, sir.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is approval of the Cardinal Wood Phase 2 and 3 subdivision. Sean?
Madam Mayor, I will take this one also. Thank you. Mr. Bob Mishler and Lauren Granger from Ashton Woods do apologize. They could not be here today. They had some conflicts come up that kind of resolved in their scheduling, but Mr. Mishler and Ms. Granger feel confident that I'll be able to get this presented to the council. As you know, Ashton Woods, Starlight Homes over there, Cardinal Woods, is going with Phase 2 and Phase 3 of the subdivision on behalf of Starlight Homes. This did come before the planning board on February the 20th for Phase 1. The planning department has reviewed the final plat, Phase 2 and 3. It went through our TRC team. It also went before the planning board for Phase 2 and 3 on January 28, 2025. The planning board did approve that final plat. Starlight Homes is asking for you guys to give approval for Phase 2 and 3 so they can continue on. They will be doing the bonding requirements per the town Section 18373. So, Mayor, what I would ask from you and the council this morning is a vote of confidence for them to approve this final plat of Phase 2 and 3 so that they can continue on with the construction phase of the subdivision.
So at this time, do I hear a motion to approve the final plat of Cardinal Woods subdivision, Phase 2 and 3, FP 2025-01, and approve Resolution 2025-03, accepting ownership of the water, sewer, storm sewer, and streets in the subdivision?
Mayor,
Any questions?
based on the progress that they've done thus far, I move that we approve to move forward.
I just have one question.
Yes,
So
ma'am,
they did
Councilwoman
mention
Byrne.
walking trails that had to be completed, and then I believe there was pocket parks and trees that need to go up as well. Is that going to be included with that?
I think this is the phase we'll start seeing this stuff. I think the first phase was just getting infrastructure cut in, but this is the part of the phase we'll start seeing some of these things
I'll
develop.
second.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
There
there a
is
second?
one
I second.
walking trail already
Yeah.
down the
Okay.
middle.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council.
You're certainly welcome. The next item on our agenda is the Blooming Festival Public Safety Ordinance and prohibition of firearms while intoxicated year-round. Caleb Shockley. Good morning.
So I think the amended version has been put in the packet. The only changes that have occurred since the first time you reviewed it is for the animal prohibition. Now the special event permit will have a box. So anyone applying for a special event permit, the host can check whether they would wish to like dogs or, not wish to. Other than that, nothing has changed, and we're just asking for your consideration and vote.
So, do we need to approve these separately? I
you
thought
would,
we did. So do I hear a motion for us to approve ordinance 2025-08?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
And the next one is ordinance 2025-08, the prohibition of animals at the Blooming Festival.
Yeah.
Any questions?
It's special events, and when you fill out your form, you would have a checkbox on whether you wish or not. We made a change. I think Councilmember Burns had brought up the comment, is this for all all events or just the Blooming Festival? It was originally intended just for the Blooming Festival. However, it's good, as Coy has some events where dogs are welcome and then some where dogs may be not welcome.
Any comments or questions? If not, do I hear a motion to approve ordinance 2025-08?
So move.
Is there a second?
Did we already do that?
I thought we already did
We
that.
already did it.
Oh, that goes together. 10 is what we are with a face mask.
We would
That's
fix our
all
face
right now.
masks now.
Any questions about that?
I move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
And then ordinance 2025-11, prohibition of weapon possession while intoxicated year-round ordinance. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you so kindly. The next item on our agenda is the certificate of sufficiency on Nash Central Middle School's annexation petition. And Luke Bennett, Lou?
On January 27th, the town council approves resolution 2025-01, directing me to investigate the sufficiency of an annexation petition 2024-04, requesting the contiguous annexation of Nash Central Middle School, 28.63 acres of land located on First Street. I have investigated the annexation petition and have found that the petition is signed by the then chair, LaShonda Washington, with the Nash County Board of Education, owner of the real property, lying in the area described in the annexation petition. And I am recommending that council accept the attached certification of sufficiency for the record and approve resolution 2025-02, setting the date for the public hearing on the annexation for Tuesday, April 8th at 7 p.m.
Do I hear a motion for, to accept the town clerk's certificate of sufficiency on the Nash Board of Education's annexation petition and approval of resolution 2025-02?
So made.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item on our agenda is the Par Drive Stormwater Basin. Randy?
Thank you, Mayor. We have with us today David Combs. He's the developer of the Birchwood Homes Phase 1, Section 7 subdivision in the town of Nashville, which we commonly know as Par Drive and Birdie Drive. There is a stormwater detention basin in that development, and Mr. Combs has a request that the town of Nashville take over ownership and maintenance of that stormwater detention basin. In his request, he states that the Homeowners Association was established and has collected water to maintain the stormwater basin for the 19-lot subdivision, but none of the owners have stepped up to serve on the Homeowners Association to perform the function of taking care of that stormwater detention basin. So at this time, Mr. Combs, if you wouldn't mind.
Mayor, council members, thank you for allowing me to be here today. And my name is David Combs. I live at 112 Ashcroft Court in Rocky Mount. Again, this has been something that's been going on since 2007. Just to give you an overview, we developed this subdivision. It was a development company called Mako Development. We developed 19 lots in 2007. We did create a HOA to maintain the retention pond in 2007. We built 3 homes in 2008, which, as many of you know, is the start of a recession that lasted for an awful long time. We couldn't sell them, so we rented the homes at that time, and we didn't sell another lot until 2017, which was almost 9 years from when the first homes were built. Around 2017, we sold a lot to Williams Builders, and over the next 5 years, he purchased 15 more lots and built homes on them. In addition, we sold 2 of the homes that we built out on Par Drive. There was an HOA set up to maintain the retention pond, but we didn't collect any HOA fees because no lots had been sold until 2017, and we had not incurred any expenses. Also, there were no inspections on the retention pond and no request to have an inspection done until 2022. And I've got letters going back to 2019 that to the property homeowners, actually with a proxy on them. So we tried to set up a homeowners association in 2000. We had the association, but we tried to have an annual meeting in 2019. No one showed up. Nobody responded. Nobody sent the proxy back in. Also, I have a letter here in January of 2022, which was before I got the letter from Mr. Lansing about the inspection of the retention pond. Again, requesting a homeowners association. No one showed up. Nobody responded. And in this particular letter, it says we only had 1 remaining lot, so at this time we would like to hand over control of the HOA to the homeowners. If you're interested in becoming a board member, give me a call. We need homeowners from the neighborhood to take over the HOA. No one responded. No one came to the meeting. There's another letter here in July 22nd, basically the same thing about having a meeting. No one showed up. Nobody responded. And then again in March of 2024, I sent another letter out. And then another one in September 16th, 2024, and no one showed up. So, and about that time in 2024, we got another letter from Nashville saying it was time to have an inspection on the retention pond. Part of what has happened over the years in February of 2022, and it was almost 15 years after we developed the subdivision, I got a letter from Mr. Lansing indicating the retention pond was overgrown and we needed to clean it up. I called him and I agreed to have it done. The HOA had not collected any money at that time because up to that point there had not been any expenses on the development. So the development company paid almost $1,400 to have the work done. We were eventually able to collect enough HOA fees to pay for the work, but also realized we needed to deed the lot with the retention pond over to the HOA since we had no longer had any interest in the property. We deeded the lot to the HOA in 2022. Since Mako had no other assets, we closed the company. Since I was the contact person, I was still receiving the request in 2024 and 25, and that's when I called Mr. Lansing, discussed the situation. He requested that I send him a letter, which I think is included in your package. Hopefully you've had time to read it. He called me in January and requested that I come to a council meeting. And so I've got copies of the letters that I've sent. The problem is the development company doesn't own the retention pond anymore. I'm the one that is continuing to receive the letters from the town. And so my request, and after talking with the town manager, was that the possibility that Nashville would take over the retention pond. And I'm glad to answer any questions, but that's kind of the timeline and where we are.
Mayor, question? So are we to understand that that particular property for the retention pond is deeded to you?
Yeah, no, originally it was part of the development company. All the lots in there were. And then we sold off all the lots and but the development company deeded the retention pond lot to the HOA. So the HOA actually owns the lots now, not the retention pond lot. It's actually on a lot. And so the development company doesn't have any other interest in it because we've closed down that company. So the HOA, but as you can see, the HOA is not responding to any letters, any meetings that we have had in order to try to hand it over to the HOA.
So who do we contact to get it handed over to us?
Well, that I am still theoretically the president of the homeowners association because no one ever stepped up to take over, and that's kind of why we're here today.
Okay.
What's-
Randall, what's the condition of that retention
what I
pond?
was gonna
Because I
ask.
remember you and I both went out there and walked over it, I guess, at the time we contacted you to get it
Yeah,
cleaned up.
and we got it cleaned up.
What condition is it in now?
Well, Brian Grice, our Public Works Director, he and Chad went out there a couple weeks back, and there are a number of trees growing up in the bottom that need to be taken care of again, and on the sides of the retention pond. That's the condition of it. It's functioning, it's working well. You know, since we put the bigger pipe through Windy Oak and Laurel Springs Drive, we haven't had any flooding on Parr Drive or Birdie Drive since we did that big storm sewer project. And this stormwater detention pond is working as it's supposed to.
I don't have any problem with us taking over the property, but I do think that before we do that, we need to be given a clean slate. In other words, assist us as far as cleaning it out so we can start new again. You said there's some trees that growed up through there. I don't think we need to take ownership of it and have to go right to work cleaning it up ourselves. If the HOA is willing to help us to clean it out financially, then I don't have any objection to it.
Well, can I insert something here? We, at this time, because we did collect some, even though nobody ever came to a meeting, we've got around $760 in the account that I offered to write the check to the town of Nashville to offset some of those costs.
Mayor,
What-
if I may. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
You
Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to know from Randy, how does this normally work in subdivisions that have retention ponds? Do we have ownership over any of them? Do we clean them out routinely? How does it work for other places? Because whatever we do here, I'm assuming is going to happen in other places.
Well, this is the first one that we've been asked to take over. At the time we approved the subdivisions, they are required, and in most cases, the homeowner association does function and take care of those. Like in Cardinal Woods, there's 3 of them, and they're gonna be taking care of those. So this will be a first. We have a few, well, we have one at the Junction that we own, that we're gonna have to take and maintain, but other than that, this will really be the first one.
What did you say it cost us the last time to clean it out? When you did clean it, what did it
Well,
cost?
but this was a total clean out, was around $1,400. It was $1,350, and so we've got right now in HOA $760.
And it's not as bad now as it was when we had him clean it out.
I don't think so. Now, Brian did say that some of the trees, I mean, it's unbelievable how big a pine tree grows in 2 years. I mean, some of those are four, almost 5 inches in diameter already. But we do have the equipment and the manpower that we can take care of that.
Sabian, you asked to be recognized?
Yes, I was just going to say then, Randy, basically, because the town does not typically do that, I think what Mr. Combs is presenting to us as a town is a unique situation based on the backstory. And so, there again, based off the backstory of the 2008 starting of that development, the attempts, multiple attempts to get homeowners associations to come aboard, and they would not. I'm inclined to support this endeavor, but as a unique situation, so that other developments will not come in and expect the town to per se do that. This is unique because we're all familiar with 2008, what took place. He's given us the backdrop. So based off of that, I'm okay, along with them agreeing to turn over monies so that our public works could go in and facilitate what needs to be taking place and give us kind of that clean slate.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
Do you have any estimate of how much, like we have the ability to do this, how much manpower, how much it would cost us to, going forward, once it's clean slate, maintain this over time?
I mean, they would put it on their mowing schedule like they do the outfalls for the sewer treatment. You know, a typical afternoon with our excavator with the bush hog on it. You can set in the bottom and hit all the sides as you go around. You can set on top and reach down. I don't think it's gonna take a whole lot of time, you know, a day, maybe a year,
Okay.
each year to maintain it.
Mayor, I have a question. So, are we able legally to accept this, but then when the work's done, we charge the homeowners and their taxes?
Well, we do somewhat do that already. I mean, all 19 homes in that subdivision are paying the stormwater fee to the town, just like everybody else does in town. And that's where the town generates its money to maintain its waterways and drainage ditches.
Can we charge additional stormwater for that pond, for that neighborhood?
Emily?
I would have to look into that, but my gut says no. But I can see if there's an additional, or authority to charge an additional fee for maintenance, but I think that would probably already be covered in the fee that you're charging, technically.
And I'm assuming we wouldn't want to transfer the HOA to the town.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Do I hear a motion then to approve David Combs' request for the town of Nashville to assume ownership and maintenance of the Parr Drive, Birdie Drive Stormwater Basin for Birchwood Homes Homeowners Association?
Along with the transfer of the money, I move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
The next item on our agenda is Public Utilities Customer Service Policy Amendment. Randy?
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Mr.
So,
Combs.
the town's had a long-standing practice of not allowing people to connect to its water and sewer system without annexation. And we had one that snuck in about 8 months ago. It was on First Street Extension, north of town. It was a new modular mobile home, double wide put in, and they connected to the water. We don't have sewer out there. When that was discovered, my first thought, well, we need to make this clear in our customer service policy. So what we're proposing here to be clear on the town's practice of not allowing connection without annexation is to add language that says properties located within the corporate limits of the town of Nashville are eligible to receive water and sewer provided by the town. Properties outside the town limits must voluntarily annex into the town to access these services. In cases where the town extends its water and sewer lines beyond the corporate limits, the town council may permit properties along the extension to connect and receive service without requiring annexation, but that would be on a case-by-case basis. These properties would be subject to out-of-town water rates and sewer rates.
Are there any questions for Randy?
Yes, Mayor. So case by case means they come back to the council each time?
They do. Say for instance, we extend water up Red Oak Road from Washington Street all the way to First Street Extension. There are approximately 22 homes along that stretch. If we were to do that, and it's likely because that's where UNC Health's medical clinic is going to be, and we put in for a Golden Leaf grant application to extend the water at least up to the medical center. Then the rest of it, we have to go down the hill, under the creek, and to get up to First Street Extension. All those homes would be right alongside. And at that time, those residents could request connection, and then the town council would consider whether they would allow connection without annexation. But what this policy mostly does, where those water lines are outside of town limits already, such as Breedlove Road, First Street Extension, houses along there, if they want to connect, the water main's already in the ground, they would have to annex.
Okay, Mayor.
Yes.
Okay, it says they have to fill out an application, and then they got the security deposit. We're going to require them, if it's approved, to pay out-of-town water fees and make them pay for the connection, the expense of the connection?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, which you didn't mention here, but they have to pay for the connection.
It's in there, yes.
It is, okay, I missed it, okay.
It's
If
further,
they annex, will they still have to pay out of town fees?
If
if they annex, no.
No,
Fees,
if
but would
they
they have
annex,
to
they
pay the
don't.
connection fee?
Oh, yeah, they'd have to.
Everybody has to pay the
Pay the
connection.
connection fee no
Okay,
matter what.
gotcha.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes.
Why? So what benefits the town more, annexation or out-of-town water and sewer rates?
Well, the annexation, in most cases, the property value, the taxes coming in from that, on the long term, is going to far outweigh the out-of-town water and sewer rates that an out-of-town resident would pay. And it's one of the advantages. I mean, as they always say, if you give the milk away, why buy the cow?
Right.
Exactly.
So it's always been our policy to require annexation, I would just keep it where we require annexation.
Yes.
I like that too. I don't think we need to,
And then we come into like playing favorites, we offer it to one but not another, I think it just gets messy.
Right. Any other comments?
Oh, hold on.
Yes.
Larry Cockrell, 205 East Church Street. I used to live on White Oak Road, and all the residents from the railroad all the way to where we wanted to buy the church, that water line has been in place for over 70 years. Those homes along White Oak Road are not in the city limits, but they have been receiving water for the last 70, almost 80 years. Would they have to be given the option to volunteer?
No,
or
they are
or
grandfathered in.
Grandfather, thank you, that was not made clear.
Great question.
Yeah. Do I hear a motion to approve amended the town's customer service policy to clarify that connection to the town's water and sewer system requires annexation?
So we're not going to do the policy that's listed here. We're going to do different. Is that?
You're just going to make it clear that it requires annexation.
So we strike out, if the town extends its water line, then they may decide.
Right.
Without.
Right.
Like Randy said, we can't give away the milk. I mean, we can't grow without people voluntarily asking. So we have to hold our cards.
We don't have but one count.
Yeah.
So do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve where we are not going to extend water without annexation. So just.
Is there,
Second.
right, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is the special events application. Lou?
So we have received several special events applications, and so if we want to start with the annual Bloomin' Festival Carnival, Amy Beasley is here. Do you want to have anything to say to them besides that? So May 7th through 10th, the 27th Annual Bloomin' Festival, I did hand y'all out the flyer
Right.
that the town has passed out, and there's some on the podium if anybody else wants one. So the festival is as usual. All the applications have been filed. Once we get approval here, then we will send off to DOT. And so if you want to make a motion we can do it separately or we can do them all together.
Do we have to have a public hearing?
We have to have a public hearing
So
on
do you
all
want to
of
go
them.
through all of them and then have the public hearing? What works best?
Yeah, that'll work. So,
Okay, so do I hear a motion that we approve
no, you got to have the public hearing.
a public hearing on all of them now?
I think, yes.
Rather than
And then,
going
well, you may want to hear from, like Coy's here to talk
Okay.
about all of his.
So,
Because all the rest of them are town events. The other one is just the annual Bloomin' Festival.
but we can do all of those under one public hearing.
We will. We
Okay,
can.
do I hear a motion that we
Do
open
you want to
up?
hear from Coy first?
Well, yeah,
Talk
Cory, you
about
want to
his-
talk first and then we'll have our public hearing?
This is getting really bad.
Yeah, the rest of them are you, Cory.
It's like really bad.
Good morning again. So we do have all of our special event permits on this meeting for the year. We'll start talking about the farmer's market, which is the first one coming up. This is starting the regular season on April 11th and running every Friday through August 22nd. And then we have one date a month from there, September 26th, October 17th, November 21st, and December 5th. We did skip July 4th, which falls on a Friday this year. We had a meeting with the vendors at the end of last season and just really felt like by 3 p.m. on July 4th that most people would already be at their destination and it might not necessarily be the best market day. However, we did keep Good Friday on here, April 18th. So we do plan to pair the market with live music, food truck. We do have a craft beer vendor that sets up. Some of the music dates, we've also invited the Vino Market to come and to have wines available there as well. You will notice that permit, the times are, the market is from 3 to 7. Some of those dates we have music running later, so we did extend the times that the actual permit is, but we are planning to have the market still that 3 to 7 time frame. Any questions on it before I move to the other two?
I do have to put one in. Since the farmer's market is in the Junction, which is now a social district, Coy has ordered stickers for the two vendors that serve alcohol. So if people are listening to music and having a beer, they will have their sticker on their cup.
Good.
Yes, normally I think the vendors would provide those themselves, but we felt like since it was our market that we would go ahead and purchase those stickers and they'll bring the cups to put them on for those.
Good.
Thank you. The next one we have is our annual Halloween Trick or Treat Street event, which we have on Friday, October 24th. The permit is from 3 to 8. This is in downtown on Washington Street, where we set up in conjunction with the Chamber, Police and Fire Department, Nash County Sheriff's Office, and a lot of community partners there for a trick-or-treating event. We do plan to do that again. One thing you'll probably notice, and probably get questioned on, is why we're doing October 24th instead of the 31st, which is also on a Friday. Ultimately, we in talking with our partners, felt like we would be able to continue to have a lot more people set up if we did it on that 24th date rather than on the 31st, because a lot of them have other commitments to other trick-or-treat events, which is why we set it up that way. And then the last one we have is December 6th, which is the annual Children's Christmas Bike Parade, which we have planned on that date. This is where we do the non-motorized bike parade with the Nashville Chamber of Commerce, paired with some crafts, some games, a few vendors, followed by a tree lighting ceremony, and then a visit from Santa Claus. Any questions on those permits? Thank you.
Thank you, Coy. At this time, do I hear a motion to go into an open public hearing?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone present that would like to speak to any of these special event applications? If not, do I hear a motion that we come out of public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Now, at this time, do I hear a motion to approve the special event permits for May 7th through the 10th, the Blooming Festival Carnival, the 2025 Farmers Market Series, the October 24th, 25 Halloween Trick or Treat Street Event, and the December 6th, 2025 Children's Christmas Bike Parade?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, have we done everything we're supposed to do to that page, Lou?
Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
I have one question for Amy. On the new map showing how the food vendors are going to be in a different area, just for clarification, is it all food vendors in the admin parking lot over there? Or are any going to be on Washington Street as well?
They
Okay.
updated that. They thought that there was gonna be a state law
Oh,
that
okay.
had to space out food trucks, but there is an updated map. I thought we had put it in here, but evidently
Okay.
it didn't. But we got an updated map. Evidently that law did not pass.
Okay, so the food vendors will remain,
It's just like
okay.
it was.
Thank
Thank you. And Amy, thank you for working so hard on the Blooming Festival. We
Yes.
do appreciate it so much. The next item on our agenda is the facade improvement grant approval for 125 and 127 West Washington Street. Sean?
Good morning again, Mayor and Council. Before you in your packet on the docket this morning, you have the facade improvement grant for 125 and 127 West Washington Street. This for Mr. Larry Hyde. We did inform Mr. Hyde to be here present today, so it may just slipped his mind to come this morning since we are doing a daytime one. But Mr. Hyde has already did some work on the project. The Municipal Service Downtown Advisory Board has given him the approval to come to council to ask for the facade grant. Mr. Hyde knows that we will not relinquish the money until we get a certificate of occupancy from Nash County inspection, say it meets up to code for what we're asking for. If you turn to page number 120 and 121 of your packet, that's the new updated form to be able to apply for the facade grant. If you turn to page 123 and 124 in your packet, that is Mr. Hyde's application of what he's planning on doing. He's already did some paint. I think he's going to change out some of the doors, some other exterior work, and then we'll be getting with Nash County to see if it meets CO for all the stuff he's doing.
Thank you, Sean. Are there any questions for Sean?
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
In our application process, it states that 5 color photographs of the existing facade with color samples, as well as designs, plans, sketches, and examples will be given. I know he gave a detailed written description of what will happen, but I'd
Yes.
love to see the proposal of what this will look like.
We can get Mr. Hyde to resubmit that if you would like, Councilwoman Burns.
That would be great.
Okay.
That was my question.
With that addition, do I hear a motion to approve
I think we table. I don't want to approve this without seeing what it will look
Oh,
like.
okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Motion, do I hear a second?
Second to table?
All
Second.
those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item on our agenda is the nuisance abatement hearing for 108 Barnes Street.
Thank you once again, Madam Mayor and Council. Ms. Thomasine Jones, with our code enforcement officer for the town of Nashville, has been working diligently on the property 108 Barnes Street. She cited them back on December 18, 2014 for violations related to their tenant there, Robert. The situation was an issue of accumulation of trash and junk, failure to remove old unusable cars, leaking the fluids into the ground, building materials, furniture, metal, and other items. She did go back on January, and the property was still in same violations. We had this scheduled for our February 19, 2025 daytime meeting to write a ordinance to have the property clean. The tenant and the owner, Ms. Jones, has worked with the owner, Mr. Bellin, very diligently to get the tenant to clean up. The pictures you see back in January, if you have rode past this property, does not look the same. They have did a total cleanup on it. I'm inclined to say that we could table this and give them maybe another couple more weeks to finish the job. And I think the owner has told the tenant he has a specified amount of time to have it done. So the owners kind of hold him also feet to the fire on getting this property cleaned up too. I'm inclined to table this, Mayor. Don't think that we need to vote on the ordinance to have it cleaned by the town due to the major improvements the tenant has done on cleaning the property.
Yeah, I rode by yesterday, and there has been a tremendous amount of cleanup.
Mayor,
Yes.
if I may, in his process of cleaning up,
Yes, sir.
that roll-up door that faces Main Street, it needs to be replaced or repaired. The one's got the pane in the bottoms wide open. That draws your attention when you ride by there. That
What's a
goes-
safety hazard also?
It's a safety
Oh,
hazard too.
absolutely.
Yes, sir, Councilman Taylor. I will let Ms. Jones inform her of that. She will get up with Mr. Mellon and make sure that gets taken care of, sir.
Thank you.
And Mayor, if I may,
Yes.
I am just so thankful for Ms. Jones. This is unacceptable, and I'm so thankful that she stays on top of these things.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want it after me.
But I think this person needs timeline, and we need to be strict
Yes.
on it, because,
I
And,
think-
and there's no extensions
right.
after.
Yeah.
I think the timeline that the owner gave them was till April 1st to have everything done.
Okay.
So of course, if it's not done by April 1st, we'll bring it back to council and then we'll go in and vote on the ordinance and take care of it. But the owner does know that the council will vote and move to get this done where a lien will be put on the property. And
Randy?
owners kind of hold the tenant to fire.
Did anybody see the 1978 AMC Hornet he pulled out of the back? I haven't seen a car like that, and it's intact. It's amazing.
Is it for sale?
So do I hear a motion that
we could trade that for our expenses, maybe?
do I hear a motion that we table the nuisance abatement hearing for 108 Barnes Street?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item on our agenda is Glover Park Interlocal agreement with Nash County. Coy,
Good morning again.
good morning.
So as you know, we have had an interlocal agreement with Nash County since 2020 for the operation of field athletics, sports programs, maintenance, management, and supervision of Glover Park. That agreement aimed to avoid overlapping services and provide more cost-effective services to citizens in Nashville and Nash County. So this agreement has been renewed a couple times since 2020. It was renewed in 2021 for a 2-year term and was renewed again in 2023 for the remainder of that fiscal year and then 2 additional fiscal years. So our current agreement is set to expire on June 30th, 2025. Town and county staff do feel that this agreement has been beneficial and should be continued. So what we have for you today is a draft renewal of that agreement that would take effect at the beginning of the new fiscal year. Any changes from the existing agreement are highlighted there in red or in blue. And the only changes that we made reference the splash pad and the picnic shelter that are to be built before this agreement expires in June of 2028. So when we started moving forward with the Part F project, it was the intent for the town to retain ownership, management, maintenance of the splash pad and that picnic shelter. So this agreement has language in there that would allow us to do that. The Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Resources Advisory Board did review this interlocal agreement at our meeting on March 10th and recommends that the council enter into this agreement as presented. And Thomas Gillespie from Nash County Recreation is here if you have any questions for him. Otherwise, I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions from the council?
Mayor, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
In this agreement, I know we specifically say except for fees associated with the rentals for the splash pad and the picnic shelter. But then in the very next sentence, it says, by way of example and not limitation, said fees shall include shelter and field rentals. So I think we just need to take out shelter from there. And then in E, when we talk about the splash pad, how will it work when there are tournaments? Will the splash pad be on during those times? Will it be off during those times?
So we will have the ability to schedule the times on that splash pad, and that, that's something that Thomas and I haven't discussed in detail yet. I would say on those, the dates where we have larger tournaments, it would probably be advantageous to cut the water to the splash pad just on those days.
I was going to say, if it's going to be on, I would like to share the cost with the county as far as the water goes for the splash pad. But if it's just going to be off on those days, until we get some citizen complaints that they tried to use it on those days, I think it's probably smart to keep the water off.
Okay.
Any other questions for Coy? Yes.
Mayor, if I may, with those tournaments, what is that timeline like? Do you pick up in the spring, and how far do you run into the summer? Because that would be a concern with this conjunction with the splash pad as well.
I'll
So just
refer
an
that
idea,
to
like, is it
Thomas.
every weekend?
Good morning. So as
Good
far as the tournaments, we run the tournaments from March until November.
Is
Is
it
that
every
every-
Every
Saturday?
weekend?
Is-
No, maybe twice a month, depends on the availability. We try not to run every weekend, but we do have scheduled this year around 1 to 2 tournaments a month.
So,
All day?
So the time frame runs from 8 until 8, yeah, all day. It's pretty much all day,
so that
on
might be an
Saturdays and
issue
Sundays.
for citizens trying to use it on the weekends.
Yep.
If we were to keep the water on, would the county be open to splitting the costs of the water bills for those tournament days?
I will have to take that back to our Parks Committee. I can't answer that question here today, but we have a meeting coming up soon, so I will have to
Okay.
take that back to our Parks Committee.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, based on that, then I think we need to wait and see what the county's response is, because because when you have your tournaments, I mean, it's hardly no parking spaces out there. So we're telling our citizens, we got your splash pad, but you can't use it but one weekend out of the whole month, But if the county would be open to sharing the expense for the water and stuff, then I would say go forward with it. But he can't answer that right now, so I say we need to table this until we get a response from Gillespie, from the county.
Is that okay?
Got a motion?
That is a motion.
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye that we
Aye.
do table this.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is planning board appointment.
Once again, council, thank you for allowing me to speak in the walls of the House of the Council this morning. Mayor, on the docket in our agenda package, you see that we have an appointment for Mr. Ted Davis. Mr. Davis is here this morning. Mr. Davis will be taking the position of Ms. Ann Collier, who just had to resign from our planning board due to moving out of the town limits of Nashville. Mr. Davis expressed interest back last year that he wanted to serve on the planning board. He's been attending some meetings kind of faithfully to see what's going on in the town as far as with planning matters and development. He's been staying in contact with the planning department on these matters of what he's thinking and giving his ideas. We did post his vacancy on the town's website. Also, we did get a free publication in the Nashville Graphic, thanks to Nancy Westbreak for putting an announcement in the Nashville Graphic for us that the vacancy had come up due to Ms. Collier having to resign her position. Mr. Davis is active in the Nashville community for many years with the Voice of Nashville, which is an advocacy social group in the town, and he's also been recommended by members in the community to serve on this position. Mr. Davis is here to answer any questions you have, Mayor. If not, we would ask recommendation from the council to appoint Mr. Ted Davis to the planning board to fill the unexpired term of Ms. Ann Collier.
Do I hear a motion to approve Mr. Davis to the Town of Nashville's Planning Board to fill the remainder of Ann Collier's term on the planning board?
Mayor, I make that motion. Mr. Davis, I do want to thank you for your service already. I see you're a military veteran, and I'm just very excited that you have that degree in community development. I think that'll be a huge asset for the planning board.
I second the motion.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And Mr. Davis, are you really here? I can't see. Thank you
Stand
so
up, we
very
can't-
kindly.
we can't see
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you so kindly for serving.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council.
At this time, do I hear a motion for us to recess to,
I didn't know if anybody had any comments before we recess.
anybody have any comments before we recess?
Y'all, or
Oh.
Randy. Randy or the council. We put those ahead before, because usually we do that right before we adjourn.
Okay, I
But
didn't
since
see
we're
it on
gonna
my
be at
list.
the-
Okay.
Yeah, since we're gonna be
Any
there.
comments?
Maybe just to follow up to what Sandy Christopher had taken the podium to. Prior to that heavy rain last Sunday, the guys were on Body Street and Railroad Street, and they cleaned off all the intakes, made sure they were clear and the water could get to them. So evidently, the pipe that goes under the railroad track is not big enough to carry the storm water. We had issues there before the junction, but with the junction there, they've been enhanced. So I got a hold of Kevin Varnell, and we're most likely going to have to do some type of project there in order to put another pipe under the railroad track to increase the capacity. I think once you get south of the railroad track, the waterway behind Circle View Drive there is sufficient enough to carry the water away. It's just getting it to it. And we got a couple other places. Larry was in yesterday. He and I were talking about them, so we'll be talking about these in our budget work sessions coming up. A few things we gotta, some drainage issues that we gotta address.
Any other?
I just want to let the council know that the downtown banners have been installed. Mr. Tim Glasgow from Glasgow Sign made the banners for us, so we kept it all locally in Nashville. The Public Works team was working very diligently yesterday and this morning to get them all up, so if you get a chance today, ride down from CVS all the way to Zaxby's, you'll see the new banners up for the downtown. And we got maybe 7 more spots. If people in the audience or any business owners would like to get one, we have 7 more spots that we would like to get filled up to have the whole Washington Street filled up with them.
And Sean, someone contacted me yesterday about where we got them and everything, so they'll be calling you, I'm sure, from another town. Chief Joyner, it's show and tell time.
I just want everybody to remember that is still an active work zone. They are not finished with that building yet. There's folks in there working. Chief Edwards is going to get over there. We're probably going to have to park in the back, but they're still trying to put 10 on that building, so that machine's got to have chance for it. So we'll probably try to stage boats out parking. When you walk in the building, there's boxes on the floor in there where they're putting in the electronic stuff and everything. So just watch where you walk when you go in there, and we'll start at the front door and we'll walk through. So.
Thank you. And I'd like to say to those that got up early and came out this morning, thank you so much for coming to our daytime meeting. I sort of like them. It's not dark when we leave. But anyway, do I hear a motion at this time for us to recess to go to the fire station number 2?
Move to recess and reconvene at the fire station.
Is there a second? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.